Mic-minded people.
The culture, the craft, the conversation. Welcome to Mic-Minded People, the podcast. I'm Fokus, a drum and bass artist with over 25 years of experience in the underground music scene. But more importantly, I'm a huge fan of MCs. This podcast takes a deep dive into the fascinating world of MCs from across the musical spectrum, hitting it from all angles, discussions, interviews, freestyles, and more. So if you share my love for MCs, or you're curious and want to find out more, you're in exactly the right place. Easy. Yes. Shout to all my mic-minded people locked in. I'm back with another episode. And today, do you know what? I'm feeling very energized. I'm feeling very lively. Let me just paint the picture. Beautiful Friday morning here in the UK. Got up early. I slept well. Got up early. Been to the gym. Had a nice morning with my son as he's getting ready for school. He even helped me empty the dishwasher. So Dexter, big up for that. And got so much going on today. Got an action-packed day. So what is the time? It's just gone 9 a.m. I'm recording this episode. This is commitment, right? This is commitment from me. Or maybe you could call it bad planning. But I'm committed to putting out a weekly episode. And when I get to episode 10, I'm going to review. Because I'm not going to lie, it is quite challenging doing an episode every week. I've got some sick guest episodes in the bag, by the way. People are very busy. People have got schedules and all sorts of stuff going on, which I completely understand. So I've got some amazing guests lined up. I've got some guest episodes recorded in the bag. But for me to do this weekly, as it currently stands, I definitely need to do the solo episode, which I enjoy doing as well. So today's solo episode, I've left it a little bit last minute because, like I said, it is Friday morning and I'm literally going to record this and then put it out. So this is going to be available for you to watch and listen to almost straight away. So, yeah, today, what's going on? Let me just give you a quick rundown. It's bank holiday weekend here in the UK. I was speaking to someone in the States yesterday, and I think it's a bank holiday in the States as well. So wherever you are, maybe you're having a bank holiday weekend. I don't know. Hope you have fun, whatever you're up to. But this is a busy weekend, and it's a weekend I've been looking forward to for a long time. So, yeah, Friday afternoon, I'm going to pick up, later this afternoon, I'm going to pick up my boy XS. Big up Danny. I've mentioned him in other episodes, but he's been my sparring partner, my DJ, one of my best friends since, like 97 era. One of the first people I kind of linked up with, and we did bedroom mixtapes. And he went on to be part of DBR UK in the world of drum and bass. We make music together and we still work together to this day. So yeah, big up Mr. XS. But anyway, picking him up and we are driving down to Abergavenny, which is a beautiful part. It's a beautiful part of South Wales, near the Forest of Dean, Monmouth area, outstanding area of natural beauty. So even like the drive down is going to be quite nice because the Forest of Dean is somewhere I think is absolutely lovely place to spend some time. But anyway, yeah, we're going down to Coalesce Festival. So big up Rob and big up all the Coalesce family. This is my first time at this festival. And do you know what? It's only dawned on me today actually how sick this is going to be. This is what I'm like. I don't necessarily what I was about to say is that I don't really think about stuff in advance, but there is an element of truth to that. Like, I haven't really contemplated just how enjoyable Coalesce Festival is going to be. But on the other side, I sometimes overthink things. So, me saying that I don't think about things in advance isn't actually true. I guess like all humans, right, I have moments of overthinking and thinking things to death. But to my point, I haven't really sat there and thought, until this morning, wow, I'm playing at a festival in beautiful countryside settings in South Wales, loads of amazing people down there, and, check out who I'm playing with tonight. So I get to play at 2 stages. So tonight, as in like Friday night, Saturday morning, 1:30 a.m, I'm on with DJ Dye, the legendary DJ Dye. I cannot wait for this. I've worked with Dye once before, a long time ago. I think it was at Outlook Festival. But yeah, haven't seen him for a long time, and I'm really looking forward to this. Back in the day, Dye has made some of my favourite favourite tunes, personal faves on V recordings, tunes like Play It For Me, absolutely sick. And then, of course, he went on to link up with Randall. Big love to Randall as Watch the Ride. And, you know, they've collaborated with some amazing artists, haven't they? Nia Archives, DEE, just to name a few. So I have no idea what Die is going to play tonight. Is he going to play old school D&B bits? Is he going to play like new upfront stuff? Is he going to play a mashup of all different styles? Who knows? And that's what makes it exciting for me. So yeah, the MO for me in terms of working with Die is quite simply, as it is all the time really, is raise the vibration, get on the mic, 1:30 till 2:30, raise the vibe, and just look, simple as this, thoroughly enjoy it. And then I got a little break, so I'm gonna walk around the festival, catch a vibe, see what's going on, and then I'm back on the mic at a different stage, doing the closing set at 4 a.m. till 5:30 with my boy Archaic. Archaic, part of the Flex Out crew. Big shout out to Flex Out Audio, Marcel, Tom, and all the rest of the team. Flex Out is a label I work with very closely. And yeah, Archaic is someone, big up Pete, is an artist that I really enjoy working with. You know, we've got a good relationship, we're friends, which kind of makes a difference. And I love the music that he plays. He's got a fairly new EP out at the moment called Digital Nature. And that tune right there, if you want to listen to a tune that perfectly sums up the type of D&B that I love and that I love spitting over, just go and listen to Archaic, Digital Nature on Flex Out Audio. Simple but killer. That's how I'm going to describe it. Simple but killer. So yeah, me and Archaic 4 till 5:30, and then this is what I was thinking this morning because I got up early this morning. I get up early anyway. I was awake about 4:30 a.m. Got up at 5 a.m. By the way, I'm not part of this badge of honor. Yeah, bro, get up at 4 a.m. We've got to hustle and kill it and all this stuff. I just enjoy getting up early, and my body clock is very finely tuned. Some mornings I wish that I could sleep, especially if I've had a weekend where I've been out gigging. You know, regardless of if I've had 1 hour sleep or 10 hours sleep, I'm still waking up at about 4:30, especially at the moment with the sun rising, these kind of summertime months. But then again, I go to bed as early as possible. Some nights I'm asleep by like 8:30, 9 p.m. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Archaic. So yeah, I got up this morning and the sun was rising, and I thought, wow, in literally 24 hours time, I'm going to be on the mic at this amazing festival in the countryside with Archaic playing beats, and the sun's going to be coming up, and it's just going to be an absolute vibe. And yeah, man, this is just the beginning of the weekend, right? So after that, we could go back to the hotel, hopefully grab a few hours sleep, which I think is going to be challenging because even though I will be tired by that point, been on my feet for 24 hours, sleeping in the daytime is not something I'm used to doing. So anyway, going to grab some sleep, grab some chill, some rest, and then back to the festival. And there's some cool daytime activities going on. And at 2:30 p.m, they've got a thing called Under the Dome, which I think is a really cool concept. And yeah, it's a nice sort of chilled little corner of the festival. And yeah, different people are just stepping up and doing different things. So there's someone, apologies, I can't remember everyone's names, but there's someone doing like a yoga thing to sort of dub music, which I might actually get involved in. I believe there's people doing like open water swimming and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to I'm going to stick the swimming trunks in. Rob told me that it's budgie smugglers only. So I'm going to pack the Speedos. I hope he's not on the wind up. Get the Speedos in there, and yeah, there's swimming, and I think he said there's a sauna as well. So this sounds like a bit of me, you know, a bit of R&R after a hard night's work. And yeah, at 2:30, I'm doing Mic-Minded People, the art form of MCing. Talk, a discussion, whatever you want to call it. I've got it kind of loosely planned out what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to go with the flow. And who knows what twists and turns this could take. So I'm really, really excited. Basically, I'm just going to be standing there talking about my passion for MCing, breaking down the art form, different examples of MCs and styles and flows, what I think explaining what my 5 pillars of the MC art form are. And I think this could actually make a really good podcast episode. So I'm not going to say any more about that. But yeah, boom, doing that. Then we're going to jump back in the car, drive back home, grab some sleep. And then Sunday morning, I'm going to be heading over to Hitchin. Hitchin is the town where I grew up in Hertfordshire. And we're doing a drum and bass jungle takeover at Cantina. Cantina is a Mexican bar and restaurant owned by my good friend Matt. Big up Beanie, big up Tiger. But back in the day, and I have mentioned this before, back in the day it was a record shop. Actually, it's been multiple record shops. Parliament Records, Tiger Star Records, Unknown Zone Records, and of course Daddy Arms House Records, which is the one that's really close to my heart, owned by legendary producer Nookie. He had a studio out the back there where him and Ray Keith made some, iconic tunes that a lot of you will know and love. And it's the place that I used to chill, spend, I'm going to say like a misspent youth, but it wasn't really a misspent youth. We go in there with our lunch money, stuff like that, buy records, tape packs, collect all the flyers. So it's going to be sick because obviously, even though now it's a bar and a restaurant, the building has obviously soaked up a lot of history and a lot of energy. So we're setting up in there for the day, and we've got music running from midday until 10 p.m. with a whole heap of artists passing through, so local people. I'm not going to reel off the whole lineup, but Nook is going to be there. Obviously, it used to be his shop back in the day. Barrington's playing. Barrington used to work behind the counter at Daddy Arms House, so that's sick. Too Bad Mice are going to be in the building with MC Flux. Too Bad Mice were linked to Parliament Records, and I believe that Cy from Too Bad Mice worked in Parliament. Man, and many, many more people. So big up to everyone coming down to that, and it's part of HDA, Hitchin Dance All Dayer. So yeah, like a 10-hour takeover of drum and bass jungle, all styles, all flavours. I'm going to be there for the duration. So a busy weekend, and on one of my future episodes, I'm sure I'll give you a little breakdown of some of these things. Check back in and let you know how it's all gone. So yeah, this episode is going to be up and available. No messing about today is basically what I'm saying. I'm feeling quite hyper. I'm feeling quite energized. Looking forward to getting this episode sorted. Now, one thing I just wanted to share, and this isn't like a premeditated thing, but as I was getting dressed this morning, I grabbed a t-shirt, and I just want to, if you're watching this, let me just see if you can, I'll just kind of show this t-shirt on the camera. I don't know if you can see that. For the benefit of all the people that are listening and not watching, then I'll explain what this t-shirt is. So the t-shirt says, what does it say? We call it grime. I think my son got me this as a Father's Day present. But yeah, anyway, the t-shirt says, we call it grime. And then it's got the faces of lots of grime legends. But what always cracks me up about this t-shirt, and it didn't fail to make me laugh this morning, is that whilst it's called We Call It Grime, the person's face at the very top of the t-shirt, which kind of is the one that your eyes gravitate to first, is Giggs. Big up Giggs. UK legend. The last time I listened to Giggs, I'm pretty sure that he wasn't doing grime. And then, who's next to Giggs on this We Call It Grime t-shirt? Krept and Conan. So yeah, Giggs and Krept and Conan are not grime, but they are UK legends nonetheless. And then of course, yeah, you got Wiley and all the rest of the man then. But it just makes me laugh when I pick up this t-shirt, and I thought I'd share that with you. Right, where are we going to take this episode? I'm sure there was something else that I was going to talk about as well. Talked about what I'm up to this weekend. Shared my own little sad little personal joke about this t-shirt. Yes. Yeah. In a previous episode, and with each of my guests, one of the common themes, one of the staples of the show, of the podcast, is asking people what their ultimate MC cipher would be. So if you're not familiar with this, then I mean, it's a pretty simple concept. You can pick 5 MCs, whether they're past or present, future, dead, alive. It's completely up to you. Any genre, any style, whatever you want, you get to choose, okay? And I've put this out to the listeners, and I've had some people hit me up. So this is an ongoing thing, okay? Please get in touch, whether that's via the Instagram, which is at Mike-Minded People, or you can email. I feel like this is really old school. Hello at mikemindedpeople.com. I'll tell you what, like, I've just thought of this actually. Does anyone actually, I don't think I've ever had a single email sent to that address, okay? Certainly not relating to the podcast anyway. So I'm going to put this out there. Who wants to be the ultimate Mike-Minded People podcast listener? Who wants to be there first? The first person to email hello at mikemindedpeople.com with their ultimate MC cipher will, at the very least, like goes without saying, you will get a special mention, a special big up, and you will hold the much coveted title of VIP first ever OG emailer. But there'll also be some kind of prize. I don't know what it is yet. Like, don't get too excited. It's not going to be like a holiday in the Caribbean or anything like that. But there'll be a prize for you, and I'll make it worth your while. So there you go. Boom. Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the OG original emailer? Anyway, also, if you know me personally or you just randomly got my number and you want to WhatsApp me, I don't really care how you send this to me. Just send them. And I've had a good response so far. So let's I'm not necessarily going to read every single one out, but let me dip into a few of these. So, big up my boy Luke Sifter, okay? Luke is one of my original mates from back in the day, Amethyst Crew, big up. There's some funny stories about why we're called the Amethyst Crew, but that is, I don't think that's for the podcast, to be honest with you. We'll keep those to ourselves. But anyway, boom, top 5 cipher. Luke Sifter, big up your chest. This is his selection. By the way, right, Luke is, like some of your mates, they're just a connoisseur of music, whether it's, I would say, across all genres, whether it's bands, whether it's hip hop, whether it's jungle, D&B, whatever. Luke's one of them people that he's got an ear. He's a connoisseur. He's got good taste. So when Luke Sifter sends me his cipher, you know that it's the first one that I'm drawing for. Yeah, he's got me on a WhatsApp here. So top 5 cipher for you, Fats. Okay, do you know I'm going to resist the urge to kind of break these down and give my commentary. I think probably contradict myself in a minute, but let me read it out first anyway. Fats, R.I.P. Conrad, R.I.P. BVA. Jeez. Told you it was a connoisseur, right? Skinny Man. And Eminem. Okay. So we're flipping it up. Fats and Conrad. Both of those guys could spit. Come on, you don't need me to tell you what they were capable of. But obviously got that melody, the vocals, the singing styles as well. And then BVA from the 4 Hours, High Focus, Hip Hop Dons. Yeah, I'm a big fan of BVA. Skinny Man. Skinny Man was in my top 5 cipher. Skinny Man is one of those exceptional artists that just represents the culture and the craft. All the pillars of MCing and the art form are embodied by Skinny Man. So, of course, I'm on board with that one every step of the way. And Eminem, I'm interested actually. I'm almost surprised how many people that I've chatted to recently really rate Eminem. I'm not knocking Eminem. I'm not saying I don't like him. I find his music hard. I remember when Eminem first came out, and was it Hi, My Name Is tune? Was that his first tune? I feel like it was. Really liked it. It was different. It was a bit it's just different, wasn't it? He had a very different flow, different approach, quite disruptive. It wasn't like what you were used to listening to, especially if you look at all the stuff that came before him, like all the kind of New York stuff that I was really into, or whether it is like West Coast with Snoop or Cypress Hill or whatever, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Biggie, all the legends, Nas. Eminem just didn't sound like any of that, did he? It was very, very unique, obviously with the Dre production And I liked that. And then I don't know if it's from the same album. Obviously, I had like Stan and some of the other tunes. The one about Dre being Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement. But I just got kind of a bit tired of his whiny voice after a while. And I think, well, the reason I'm laughing is because my son Dexter is a mad Eminem fan at the moment. I've said this before. I don't always repeat the same things, but nonetheless, he's an Eminem fan, so I hear Eminem a lot. And yeah, it's okay. I massively respect. I respect him. He's sick. I mean, some of the stuff he's done on the fast flows he's got on, what are the tunes? Is it Rap God? I can't remember now. But anyway, he's got a couple of tunes where he just goes ham, and like to call it multi-syllable doesn't go far enough. This is crazy techers, amazing. It's just the thing that put me off is when there's quite a few tunes where he talks a lot of like just says mom this, mom that, dad this, talks about his daughter a lot and all these kind of things, and it just sort of put me off. Anyway, I'm going off on a bit of an Eminem ramble, and this is why because then Luke Sifter said I've been struggling with this one, but he went with instinct. Absolutely, man, that's what we got to do. And then he said Eminem from 25 years ago, FYI. Yeah. Not that anyone needs to justify or explain. This is obviously all of this stuff is pure personal opinion, right? But I get what he's saying there. Eminem from 25 years ago. Then he's put, it's all about hearing that combo live. Great combo of lyrics, singing and spitting. Yeah, come on, man. So Mr. Sifter, big up your chest for that. And then I'm going to dip into the Instagram quickly. Probably should have done this in advance. Which one is it? I think it's this story here. Oh, okay, yeah. So I put an Instagram story out. What 5 MCs would you put in your ultimate cipher? Hit me up. I'll read a few of them out. So go to the comments. Right. Let's just read these out and I'll see how we get on. Okay, Tej. My boy Tej. Bad boy producer from Bristol. Tej, big up, making some killer music. We actually did a gig together last weekend. Me and Tej did a 90-minute set at the Castle, which is a little dungeon basement kind of room underneath a pub in Aldgate in London, which was sick. Tej is making some killer rhythms. He's got his own label called Nyx, NYX, so go and check that out. Sick producer, very prolific, and yeah, someone that I thoroughly enjoy working with. But anyway, Tej, interesting. Tej has gone for that real 90s lick. Big L, Nas, Pun, Prodigy, and AZ. Yeah, man, feeling that. Boom. I like all of those MC. It doesn't matter what I like. This is about your choices. Prodigy, come on. Can't test Prodigy. And Pun. Yeah, big Pun for that. Said the words earlier, but like that multi-syllabic delivery. Big Pun was very, very cold. It's sad, isn't it, when you read some of these out? How many people have passed away? Yeah, I mean, Big L, Pun, and Prodigy all passed away as well, isn't it? Fats and Conrad. Mad thing. Okay, up next, Obelisk MC. I believe, yeah, my man is in New Zealand. So yeah, big up Obelisk for sending this in. He's put, number 1, Tom Scott, homebrew crew from New Zealand. Okay, I like that, representing his crew. Tom Scott, to check him out. Obelisk, if you hear this, if there's anything you want to send me of Tom Scott, that'd be sick. Number 2, SPMC. Jeez. Come on. Big up SP, man. Number 3, pre-2004 Eminem. Okay, so it's funny, isn't it? I genuinely didn't know he'd written that. Hadn't kind of pre'd this before particularly. I didn't clock anyway that he'd put pre-2004 Eminem. So, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Luke Sifter, my man here, Obelisk, Peas, a few other guests that I've talked to as well. Eminem's there for a lot of people. So pre-2004. Number 4, Juice WRLD. Interesting. Again, I'm only, do you know what? I don't mind admitting this. I'm only familiar with Juice WRLD through my son. And my son knows Juice WRLD. actually, and Eminem. He knows both of those artists by playing flipping Fortnite. What an amazing marketing tool. Marketing genius, isn't it, really? These the gaming world bringing music artists into it. So Dexter's got the Juice WRLD skin and he does all these like emote dance things, and the same with Eminem. And then he's gone on to buy his music, got an iTunes voucher for his birthday, and he's bought a load of Eminem music. So the marketing through the years and to get these younger listeners is crazy. But anyway, Juice WRLD. I quite like the Juice WRLD stuff. He's passed away as well, wasn't he? You know, yeah, I like the Juice WRLD stuff. It's different. It's different. It's not what I expected it to be, actually. It's quite melancholic. You know what I mean? But yeah, and then, okay, we've got to rate this. Obelisk, myself, as in himself. These are his words. Myself, because what a lesson and vibe that would be in a circle of that caliber. Yeah. Come on, bro. You've got to back yourself, right? If you don't back yourself, if you're an MC or any kind of artist, or actually just as a human, if you don't back yourself, who do you expect to back you? So I love that. Imagine, yeah, and you know you need to be around winners to better yourself, right? If you're the best person in the team, how are you going to improve? Sports is always a good analogy, isn't it? But if you're a footballer and you're the best player in the team, no one's testing you. You're more skilled, you're fitter than all the other people. How are you going to level up? And I think, yeah, I like that. That's the same kind of mentality that you're talking about here, Obelisk, right? So yeah, big up my New Zealand crew. I've had a few messages from people in New Zealand. So NZ, what you saying? More MCs out there? Send me your ciphers. I'm going to keep going. I'm quite enjoying this, actually. I'm doing this off the cuff. This isn't necessarily what I thought I would spend this episode doing, but let's go with it. MC Weedy, big up your chest. Philip Levi. Mate, this is mad because I was literally going through some old Saxon Sound Clash tapes yesterday. There's a reason I was doing that. I'll tell you about that another time. I don't want to ruin it in case I end up using this as a future podcast episode. But anyway, Philip Levi, part of Saxon Sound, you know, seminal sound system from the early 80s, from South London, I believe. Saxon ended up, you know, it was almost like a who's who of the sound system MCs at the time. Tip Irie was part of Saxon. Pretty sure that Smiley Culture joined Saxon at some point. Who was there? There was Daddy Colonel, Rusty, Sandy, I believe, or was he one of the selectors? Anyway, Saxon Sound, you know, arguably the leading sound system in the UK at that time. And, you know, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm I'd be very surprised if they're not still going to this day, right? But anyway, I digress. So he's gone for Philip Levi. That's a proper big man thing. Big man thing. Degs. Easy. Yeah. That's a really interesting one. Degs is cold. I remember first hearing Degs when he did those Facebook spray outs, and that really was his kind of, I say, rise to fame. I don't know if that's, yeah, fuck it, rise to fame. And that put him on the map, and then pow, Degs has gone clear. And it's interesting because you see him on certain lineups. He's kind of gone maybe more into that artist bracket as a singer, vocalist, DJing, MC. He's cold. This is what I love about this, actually, because yeah, when you put these people in a cipher, you get to see them and, well, hear them in the true environment, right? I'd love to hear Degs next to Philip Levi. Amazing. Anyway, let's keep going. Dynamite MC. Again, said it about Skinny Man. I'll say it about Dynamite. If there is someone that embodies the art form of MCing and embodies the 5 pillars, I'm going to break the 5 pillars down another time. It is Dynamite. He's got the full package. He's someone that can stand on a stage and just the rhythm and tone of his voice combined with his presence and his energy is enough to just elevate the vibe in a rave tenfold. Forget lyrics, all of that. And obviously he's worked with, but he's got the lyrics as well. That's what I'm saying, all part of the package. Yeah, he's obviously worked with so much, in the hip hop world. He's done amazing hip hop tunes. Then he worked with was it the Scratch Perverts or like a turntablist act? I can't remember who it was. Obviously Ronnie Size, Represent, and you don't need me to break down his career. So yeah, Dynamite, Dizzy Rascal. Come on, I wonder if Dizzy Rascal is on my is on my t-shirt. Uh, he's got to be, right. I'll have a look later on. But yeah, we call it Grime t-shirt, Dizzy Rascal. Okay, and Poser. All right. Forgive my ignorance. I'm not familiar with Poser, so I'll have to check out. So yeah, to recap: Philip Levi, Degs, Dynamite, Dizzy Rascal, and Poser. Okay, up next, big up Freddie B, Manchester crew. Yeah, big up Freddie. Tough one. He's gone for DRS, Strategy, T-Man, and Fox. Look, you can't argue with him, man. He's from Manchester. He's representing his corner, Northwest corner, stand up, the home of many a legendary MC from the days of Trigger. I actually lived in Manchester in and around the year 2000. Don't hold me to that. And it was great. There was, even back then, the MCs in Manchester were taking things over. Of course, you had Strategy and DRS, Broken English, with Jenna G was moving with them as well. Used to go to a night at the Dry Bar called, no, I can't remember what it was called now, but it was at the Dry Bar in the city centre. There was like open mics. I remember seeing Broken English just kill it down there. So yeah, big up them lot. And then you had Ton Piper and his brother Bandit. They used to smash up a night called Viagra Falls. And I remember saying at the time, they reminded me, yeah, I don't know, man. They reminded me, what I was going to say is they reminded me of like a Manchester version of X-Man and Herbs, but in terms of the energy, not because like they were biting their lyrics or anything like that at all. I'm just saying like the energy and the kind of the variance in their styles was sick. So yeah, Tom Piper and Bandit was smashing up the place. Obviously, Tom Piper's gone on to work with like touring the world of Andy C. Yeah, and there's loads of other guys. Mad Rush. Who else was there? Trigger. Did I say Trigger? I mean, you don't get more of a OG vet than Trigger. Trigger is up there for me, and it's sick to see what he's gone on to do over the years and get that kind of crossover appeal with a different fan base. So yeah, come on, big up Trigger. And there was another MC in Manchester called, because we linked up with him, which is funny in itself, because like he was a proper Manchester OG, and we're just up there, these like Southern boys in Manchester. We put on a night at a club called Generation X, a night called Lockdown. Shout out to my man Rob and Rich and the boys that I lived with. We lived together in this like massive 4-story house in Longsight, and they were all doing the student thing. I lived there. I was basically living the student lifestyle, aka getting stoned all the time and getting mashed without actually doing a degree. And I lived there for about 10 months, and it was just like party business. We did some radio shows in Manchester, some like little gigs in Sheffield. We put on our own night called Lockdown. And yeah, what I was saying is that we linked up with MC Crystallize, Devious D, big up Devious D, Devon, yeah, and his brethren was Crystallize, and yeah, he's like a Manchester OG. And then the guy that ran the sound system at the night we put on was MC Payne, EFX and Payne. Yeah, Payne is. I've got a tape of those guys playing at Roast, and it's one of my favourite tapes. Payne's style was absolutely sick. So yeah, what can anyone, if anyone's hearing this and you know what's going on in and around the Manchester scene, what happened to MC Payne? I would love to hear more of him, because I'm going back to like 95, 96 with the tapes I've got. So anyway, yeah, Freddie B's bigging up DRS Strategy, T-Man and Fox for the cipher. And then he's put SPMC in there as well. So yeah, that's a deadly combination, right? Sticking with the kind of the D&B vibe. Obviously, all those guys are super versatile as well. I'm enjoying this. Let's keep going. Chef, Illustrate. Big. Big up your chest. Brixton crew. Big up Chef. Mr. Illustrate. So he's gone for, okay, interesting. Yeah, Redman, Method Man. Come on. Legendary combo, right? Redman, Method Man, Eminem, again. Yeah, Wiley and Verbs. I'm liking that. Rough with the smooth. OG with the fresh. That's the right words. So yeah, man, that would fully gassed about that one. Okay, how many more? I've got two more, so I'm gonna do the rest. Tom Rotten, 23. Codebreaker, Sense. Yeah. Deep lyricism. Come on, Codebreaker and Sense. They got a mention in the episode I did with Peas, aka Fathom Audio. Very, very deep lyricists, spitters within the realms of D&B, but very much a hip-hop vibe about what they do in terms of the style to a degree, but the mentality, you know. Jest, yeah, man. The Sun Dragon. Wow, okay, that's a techie one. Jest and Sun Dragon, they used to work together back in the day, didn't they? Sort of low life era. Now, what was Jest's record label? Can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, I've definitely got some of their music. So yeah, sick. And yourself. Okay, so me. He's referencing me. He's going to put me in that as well. Codebreaker Sense, Jest, the Sun Dragon, and Fokus. Wow. I mean, I've worked with Codebreaker and Sense before. Jest and Sun Dragon. Yeah, do you know what? I could hear that working. And like I said earlier, for me, stepping into that cipher, that for me is having to level up. Of course it is. So that puts me into a position where you've got to bring your A game, you've got to come with it. Can't just be standing on the touchline, so to speak. So yeah, wicked, man. Thank you, Tom Rotten. And then, hold on a minute, this is cheating. Chef Illustrate. He's stuck a second one in. I've started, so I'll finish, in the words of the bloke from Mastermind, I think. Illustrate, okay, fair enough. Like, wrap up with this one, yeah. SP, he's already said SP, isn't he? No, okay. Right, SP, Skibber, Dizzy, Gets, and Chip. And then he's put man. This is a fucking hard question. Yeah, it's one of them ones that you overthink, right? So, yeah, I like that. So, anyway, I really enjoyed doing that. Big up everyone that has sent through their ultimate cipher. Pick your top 5. Hit me up with it. Right. Do you know what? I'm going to call it there. This is a short, sharp episode. I want to get in. I'm going to sort out the bits and pieces I need to sort out. I'm going to get this episode up here. Do you know what? This isn't actually what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about something completely different. But, okay, here, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up like this. Couple of things, actually. Sometimes the thing that you have planned might not be the right direction. Sometimes the thing you have planned might not work. By which I mean this, and I've been thinking a lot about this recently, and I want to shout out my mentor, Fiona. We were literally voice noting about this morning. I was working, we did a session together yesterday, and we were talking a lot about letting go of control. And if something is meant for you, it will work out. That was my kind of very paraphrased version. That's what I took away from the session. Don't try and overly control everything, because things will work out the way you need them to. That might not be the way you want them to, but you'll get what you need. And that gave me a lot of, I really like that. And I woke up this morning feeling refreshed and invigorated from that conversation that we had, because that really means something to me. I'm not going to get too deep and meaningful. I think with these kind of things, I probably could do episodes where just kind of talk about these kind of things, and it's not even necessarily related to D&B. Again, let me know, like, if you're, I'm open to what kind of solo episodes you would like me to do. So again, hit me up in all the usual places. Let me know if there's anything you would like, topics that you would like me to dip into. But yeah, suffice to say, the reason I'm saying this is because I already came into this podcast knowing that it's going to be a loose one. It's going to be fun. It's going to be flexible. Kind of, let's just see what happens. So I was going to intro and just kind of do a quick summary of some of the comments about the Ultimate Ciphers. That became a whole thing within itself. And then I was going to launch into a topic. And I'm not even going to say what the topic is, because I'm going to hold it for another time. But as this conversation is, I'm basically sitting here talking to myself like a madman. And you know, the funny thing is, If you are watching this, I'm basically sitting in a padded room, as you might be able to see on the camera. If not, lots of padding on the walls because it's my studio. So it's not lost on me that I'm basically sitting here having a conversation with myself in a small padded room. Take from that what you will. But I love my studio. I love my studio. The house that I live in, right? I've lived here, is it 15 years? Should know this really. No, we moved in. Anyway, 12 years. Let's say 12 years. And I used to have a computer set up in like the corner of the dining room. But I really do, and I'm super grateful for this. I really do believe that creative people, whatever your thing is, you need your own space. I need to get out of the house and do my thing. And for me, it's the same with fitness. Like, of course, like doing press ups in the front room. If that's what you've got available to you, absolutely, boom, do that. That is sick. Having your laptop in the kitchen, of course, man. Like, how many legendary tunes were made by laptops set up in the kitchen? Like seminal tunes were made that way. But I like being able to leave the house. That's why I like going to the gym. I like stepping out of my back door and coming to my studio. So my studio is in the garden. I might post some pictures of it because I think people will be surprised to see what it looks like. People talk about, yeah, man, I'm in the studs, being in the studs, all that kind of stuff. And the studio, like I said, could obviously be your bedroom, your kitchen, could be a table, whatever. My studio is essentially a shed. When we sorted the garden out a few years back, several years back, I thought, do you know what? I need to get out of the house and have my music stuff set up somewhere. So I've got a space I can come to. Something a bit weird about sort of being in a house and like just almost thinking, oh, I wonder if the next door neighbours can like hear me like spitting all these bars and the music's playing. I thought, no, I need my own space. So yeah, cleared out a section of the garden and invested in a shed. And my dad used to be involved in the gardening trade. Like, he had a garden centre, so he had some connections. He's like, right, boy, go and speak to old John, what's his name, or whatever the bloke was. He's going to sort you out a really good quality shed. So the guys came round, set the shed up. We did the concrete base and all that stuff, proper things. And then, what a brilliant way. This is completely organic. It's just made me smile. Realised Luke Sifter. Remember Luke Sifter from the beginning of the episode? My friend who sent in the cipher. He's a carpenter. Luke kindly offered to come round, so we boarded out the whole shed. It wasn't a big shed to begin with by any means, and now it's a lot smaller, but I'm only 5'8" at a push, so it's perfect for me. Some of my tall friends like XS and Medic and some of them big 6 foot plus guys can't stand up in here, but for me it's perfect. But yeah, Luke came round, so we kitted it out, we boarded it out with acoustic rock wool foam stuff, the plasterboard, and then Luke built me these like bass trap panels. I've got my little vocal kind of boothy bit in the corner, and it's sick in here. I love it. The LED lights, got my Wi-Fi, got my computer set up, and I've got this really nice mic. It's not an elaborate setup in here at all. This is a really nice mic. And again, grateful for having this mic. Quick, silly story behind this, but I'll tell you it anyway. In a past life, I was a fireplace salesman. Worked at that company for 17 years. I don't do that anymore. That's another story that I might tell sometime. But yeah, for my 10 years of service, I'd worked at the company 10 years. They said, right, you've got a budget of X amount, and it was a healthy budget, I must say. Choose what you want. And I was like, wow, okay, this is sick. What shall I get? I don't want to waste it. So I got a sick mic. And the mic that I use, it's a legendary mic. It's the... Hold on, what is the model? Oh, yeah. I know it's an electro voice, and I thought it was the RE20, but I just had to do a quick sanity check. So, yeah, electro voice. Look at this bad boy case. I love this case. And it's a dynamic mic. My voice sounds better for recording on a dynamic mic. Don't get me wrong, come on, if you're in a nice studio, you've got a nice condenser mic. But I feel that the condenser mics in my end of the price range, even though it was a healthy budget, they sound a little bit sibilancy. Is that even a word? Sibilant. My voice sounds a bit and too sensitive for the kind of way that I like to spit. I like to get up close to the mic. Trust me, you'll recognise this mic from other podcasts. Electro Voice EV RE20, sick mic. And I suppose it's like the Electro Voice equivalent to a degree of Shure's SM7, getting proper mic geek vibes now. I love talking about mics. So yeah, if you're a mic nerd, you want more mic geek talk, hit me up. But yeah, got this mic, and this is at the crux of my this is like my weapon of choice, let's say. And you know, got a semi decent sound card, got a reflection filter, nicely padded out room, so to speak. Like I'll say acoustically treated, but it's not really, because it's very hard to acoustically treat an 8 foot by 10 foot shed. Do you know what I mean? But it is actually sick. I love it. And if you are familiar with any of my music, the majority of the releases I've had, you know, proper commercial releases. When I say commercial, I mean music that's out now on labels. It's certainly not commercial drum and bass. Far from it. Quite the opposite. But yeah, the releases out there on labels like Dispatch and Flex Out, Renegade Hardware, some of the others, a lot of the mixes I've done, all been recorded in here. Not mastered in here, so I send the vocals away to be mastered. But yeah, a lot of those projects have been recorded in this studio, aka my shed, on this mic. And yeah, don't know how we even got onto talking about this, but oh no, it's because I was saying, yeah, I'm basically sitting here having a conversation with myself in a padded room like a madman. But big up Luke Sifter, because he helped me kit this out, and we spent a few days cutting up the foam, and it was really enjoyable. And yeah, I love being in here. So I think where I was going with this is that sometimes you just need to follow your intuition. What felt right today was to just talk, not watch it too much, enjoy myself. And I just decided on the spot, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to wrap this episode up rather than get into this whole topic that I planned. Save that for another day. And yeah. So there we go, man. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get inside, sort out the artwork for this, because I do all this myself. I've kind of taught myself to be a semi-graphic designer using Canva. Big up the Canva crew. Really enjoy using Canva. I didn't really ever think of myself as a artistic person in inverted commas, but whether it makes me an artist or not, I don't know, but I enjoy doing stuff on Canva. So get indoors, sort this out, get this uploaded to Podbean, which then puts it onto Spotify and Apple, get the video onto YouTube and blah blah blah. So I'm going to go and do all that. So yeah, man, follow your intuition is my thought for the day, and I'm going to be embracing that this weekend. Trust me, when I'm at Coalesce Festival, yeah, letting go of control, following my intuition. What's for you won't pass you by. I'm going to leave it at that. Please reach out to me, help me spread the word about the podcast. Like I said, I'm building this independently, putting in the graft, really, really enjoying it. Want more guests on? This is about conversation, preferably not just with myself. So more guests are coming. Who would you like me to speak to? Who would you like me to sit down with and converse with in the world of MCing? I'd love to hear. Hit me up in the usual spots. If you're watching on YouTube, go over to Apple and Spotify if you want to listen to it, and vice versa, of course. Do many people enjoy watching a podcast? I listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't watch podcasts, but it felt right to have this on YouTube. It helps kind of grow it, and it gives me an opportunity to clip things up for little reels that help promote it, etc., etc. So yeah, thanks for your ears. And like I said, just to recap, if you want to be the OG, VIP, first person in the world to email Mike-Minded People, the podcast, hello@mikemindedpeople.com. Send me your ultimate dream cipher, and yeah, you're going to hold that coveted title and get a prize of some description. All right, peeps, it's bank holiday. I've got lots to do. I will let you know how the Coalesce Festival thing goes, update you on, this talk I'm doing, the art form of MCing. Whatever you're up to, stay safe and follow your intuition. I'm out. Peace.